So who's to see what will happen today?
Well, each rider is going to get 3 runs. The runs are 50 seconds in length. Now, traditionally in years past, it's been your best run that counts, but the format changed here with BMX Street coming back. Now you need to put 2 good runs together. It's your 2 best runs total together, and the best individual run score you can get out here is a 50.
And the judges did look for flow, using the entire course to link different tricks together, also the technicality of each trick.
Well, you know, we talk about flow, and if you're watching this and you're not familiar with street riding, what does that mean? It's how well you combine all your tricks and how well you move through the course. As we look at some highlights here from Sean's first run.
Throwing a big flare, going over the Lone Star.
And going back to that flow thing, it's all about the continuity. Do you smooth and effortlessly flow through the course? Are you able to link up all your effortlessly flow through the course? Are you able to link up all your different tricks on the different features as you move through course? And that's going to be one of the big keys. And another big key here in BMX Street is, of course, you want to have the tech savvy. You want to have some difficult combo moves to throw into the mix, Kevin.
And with a course like this, you do have a few larger elements, so you're going to see tricks like the flare other than just the technical tricks.
All right, well, the guy that likes to ride smooth and throw some finesse into the mix is Ty Morrow on course right now. This guy has some amazing bunny hop skills. He's able to manipulate that bike and do some step-ups from low to high here in places of the course that some of the other riders might not be able to do.
Little tail whip right there. And for people at home, you have to really watch the front pegs and back pegs as you dock them on the edge of the ledges just like that.
You know, another thing to talk about, too, we talk about tech. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of combo moves that go on in between the tricks and whatnot. One thing to watch for, things that these guys will do into and out of tricks, especially on the grind ledges.
You'll see combinations of technical tricks and then like the big 360 he just did over that handrail.
So Ty capping it off there, coming down that A-frame rail. So again, the best possible frame rail. So again, the best possible run score that you can get out here is a 50. Sean Sexton got us started with a 17. We'll have to see what the judges think of Ty Morrow's first outing as we look at some replays.
Here's that big 360 over the handrail. Goes right into the foot jam nose pick. With no brakes, you use your foot as your stopper.
It's kind of gnarly, too, when you're coming down and you transfer to flat like that. That's quite an impact on the ankles and the wrists. So Ty Morrow with a 26. That'll put him up there in the top spot as of right now. Again, looking for your 2 best runs of right now. Again, looking for your 2 best runs total together out here today. Sean Ricani on course here for his first of 3. Oh, wow, a double pig grind to tail it off on that rail.
Manual ledge to bar spin out. Sean Ricani doing it from Toms River, New Jersey for Cult Crew.
Well, he's one of our X Games rookies. We got 4 of them in the lineup out here today, and this guy makes a name for himself. Smooth technical riding, and be on the lookout for lots of combo tricks.
Oh, the 360 tail whip off that small ledge. That is a lot of pop and a lot of power you have to put in to make that happen.
Well, you see how these guys will get out here, they'll flow through the course, they'll link a couple of things up, and then they'll get to the end of the course and kind of reset, turn around, come back the opposite direction. But again, you know, it's all about that flow, that continuity, and of course you want to keep the feet on the pedals as you're going through the course you run and you make your tricks. And this is turning out to be a very solid run for Sean here.
You notice most of the guys do not run brakes, and you'll see them do a speed check where you see them kick out their back tire, and that's to slow themselves down as they approach their obstacle. Right there, hop over double peg.
Yeah, that's what started the run off.
To tail whip out.
And he was almost running out of real estate right there. He had about 8 inches left before he was off course on that one.
There's the 360 tail whip.
You see the reaction there from Garrett Reynolds, the most dominant rider in the history of this event at the X Games. Devin Smiley, oh, look at Sean's up there with a 34. That is a huge score. Again, the best single run score you can get is a 50, so that is a great way to start it off. So Devin Smiley, he's technically an X Games rookie. He's been here before, but he's always been here as an alternate. He's never been able to compete before, so now he finally gets his invite to be out here in BMX Street.
That's what I love to see now. So there's this device called a free coaster. So normally when you ride backwards, your pedals are forced backwards and you have to move your feet with the pedals. It almost looks like you're pedaling backwards to move your feet with the pedals. It almost looks like you're pedaling backwards. With a free coaster, the guys are allowed to keep their feet even so they can coast backwards just like that.
Yeah, that was smooth and dialed, just popping around that last 180 coming off the lip.
Bar spin to ice pick. Ice pick grind is when just your back peg is on the rail of the ledge.
And again, going back to that smoothness and that style point that we were talking about earlier, you look at how he just methodically flows through his run here. It just, he's cruising through. It doesn't look jerky. It doesn't look mechanical. Put it all together. Oh my!
540 bar spin on a wedge. That was unreal. That was a really solid first run.
So a great, well-rounded run with a big tech trick at the end.
Right here, this is what I'm talking about. Rolling backwards, you see his feet are staying stationary, which enables them to have so much more control while they're doing a rollback. 540 bar spin, spinning around 540 degrees, and at the same time flipping those handlebars around. And at the same time flipping those handlebars around 360 degrees.
Well, I said it at the top of his run that he's been here as an alternate 3 times before, and is your first time to actually get in here and compete. That's a That's a great way to make a statement for yourself right there with that opening run, and he will net himself a 29, so that'll slide him into second right behind Sean Ricani. So it's Ricani, Smiley, and Morrow, your top 3 here in the early round, or the early go here of round number 1. Another X Games rookie on course right now out of Scotland. This is Alex Dunnicky.
Yeah, the toothpick grind on that rail. Good grind to double peg.
We got our top 3 scores so far. We got a 34, a 29, and a 26.
That was sweet. Manual to hop over toothpick grind.
Going up rail, bar spin off.
Jumping over the Lone Star, throwing in a quick little invert. Something you don't usually see on a street course.
Just threw some style and some finesse right there. That little nose bonk 180 coming up, fakie bar spin. So yet another one of our rookies putting together a decent run here to start it off.
Alex with the manual. You see hop over toothpick grind, so it's hopping over and using his front peg to grind on that rail.
So let's see what the judges think again. 50 is the best single run score you could possibly get. We wait that score. Alex gets in there with a 20. So now this is Bruno Hoffman out of Germany. Excuse me, that's Garrett warming up. Sorry, I thought we were dropping into our next rider there. Garrett just taking a warm-up run as we await Bruno Hoffman. Garrett trying to keep it warm. Garrett gets to ride last here in the lineup by virtue of being your defending gold medalist from 2 years ago. There's Bruno.
Bruno Hoffman out of Germany, doing it for Federal Bikes. He's familiar to the X Games. Foot jam nose pick.
He's got a street silver from 2013 from X Games Barcelona. Be on the lookout for tricks up and down the rails, and this guy loves to throw 540s.
Hop over double peg on that rail. Bunny hop on the Lone Star. Yeah, nose manual.
Last little bit of time left here for Bruno. Again, this is the opening round out of 3 here. The return of BMX Street to the X Games. Bruno had a nice little line going there, Kevin.
He did. Had a good solid run going right here. Nose press. 180 out. Swinging around, riding away clean. Put together a good solid run.
Well, let's see what the judges think. Again, Sean Candy sitting in that top spot with that 34. And then you got Devin Smiley in second with that 29, and then Ty Morrow with a 26. Best possible single run score you're aiming for is a 50. We have 5 judges in the booth. They're all working off a 1 to 15 point scale. The high and the lows are taken out. The remaining 3 scores are then totaled together, and then you get 5 points just for rolling in and starting your run. So that's how we arrive at that score of 50. And again, your 2 best runs out of your 3 are going to be totaled together, and that's what's hopefully going to put you on the Austin podium here. Bruno checking to put you on the Austin podium here. Bruno checks in with a 25 right there, so that'll slide him into 4th place. So we're just about the halfway point of round number 1 of 3. About the halfway point of round number 1 of 3. We've got more BMX Street when we come back to X Games Austin.
iPhone and Android. Just takes a couple of seconds. Go on there, download it. I did it, Daryl, and I actually got a photo of there yesterday, so that was pretty cool to check that out. Make sure to check out Xgames.com.
Moving right along here with our next competitor, Brock Rayford. Not too far from here, Destrehan, Louisiana is where he calls home. This guy's known for linking up some pretty big tricks. He likes a lot of those manual lines. What's a manual? That's when you're basically it's a wheelie. So look for nose and tail back tire manuals. You look for him to bar spin in and out of grind combos as well. It was one of those features we were talking about earlier, where you see these guys add an extra topping, if you will, going into or out of a trick. So pay close attention to that with Brock.
The bunny hop tail whip right there. The look down over the hip. Brock doing it for volume bikes.
He has one prior X Games appearance. Remember, we did not have BMX Street contested out here in Austin last year, so the last time we've seen these riders at the X Games was 2014.
Oh, throwing in the flare. A little bit of a fall, but he had such a busy run going. He was hitting so many different aspects of the course, staying really busy, throwing in a lot of tricks.
Well, we've mentioned flow a bunch of times, but one thing we really haven't touched on is use, of course, and that's important. There's a lot of features to pick and choose from out here. The judges want to see you use a nice variety of everything.
Right there, pulling that link clean. Right here, going for the flare. Pulls out a little too much, lands a little too heavy.
Like he was going to be able to save that right there, and then just a little bit of a step off there. That right foot comes off the pedals. So we'll see what the judges think. Brock there, that first go around. So looking to clean that up just a little bit. But the key change here from the last time we had Street out here at the X Games is that you need 2 runs, because you're totaling your 2 best ones together. In years past, it's always just been best run counts. The high mark to beat, if you're looking to crack into the top 3 right now, you got you need a 26. That's Ty Morrow. And then the top spot right now, that's a 34 with Sean Ricani. We are here in the latter half of round number 1 out of 3, the return of BMX Street here at X Games Austin. As of right now, it's Sean Ricani sitting in the top spot with a 34. And Brock, he checks in with a 31. So the second highest run score we've seen out here today, Kevin, despite that little slip up. So that'll slide him up into second place. But here comes yet another one of our rookies in the lineup. This is Matt Ray.
Matt Ray doing it for Sabrosa Bikes, 20 years old. Matt's one of my favorite riders. He's just such a good guy. Puts a lot of time in on his bicycle. Going for that nose wheelie.
Again, you get 3 50-second runs. Best of your 2 runs total together that count out here. Oh, look at that. The truck driver, that's a bar spin with a 360 coming down that stair set to flat.
You know, a lot of these athletes spend so much time making video parts and video clips. The difference is they get to try those over and over as they're recording until they hit it the right way and they pull the link that they want to pull. Here, all the pressure's on. You have to do it within your runs.
Well, you know, within the runs, but you're trying to link all these different things up. I mean, you've got all these different elements out here that you would traditionally find in a street riding setting. And, you know, like you said, you go out and you do these video parts and you try things repeatedly to get it right for the video edit. Here, you've got to try to put all that together in a 50-second time span.
Right here, going for the tail whip. Out of that wedge. Lands it smooth, jumping over the Lone Star.
So we have 2 riders thus far to score up in the 30s. That's your current leader, and Sean Ricani, and then Brock Rayford sitting second there with that 31. Excuse me. Alex Kennedy out of the UK coming your way next. We got Matt checks in the 14 there as we bring Alex Kennedy on course here for his first of 3.
Alex Kenny out here doing it for Colt BMX. The feeble grind on the ledge.
So he's known for his good bike control skills, and he's able to deliver his tricks in a nice fluid motion. As I say that, just gets hung up and goes over the bars.
Prior to that, right up on the ledge on the bank there, feeble to hop over 180 to Smith. Just so technical, which is what he's known for, his technicality.
Well, you are allowed to keep going within the span of the 50 seconds despite falls, and it looks like Alex is going to call that one there. That one might have stung him just a little bit, so sitting that one out for the rest of the time in that run.
Let's see it right here. When he hops up, leans his weight a little too far forward.
Well, that
goes over the bars and slides out.
That one just stuck. It looked like it just didn't want to slide right there.
That's the difference. If you have too much weight going forward and you don't have your peg in the exact spot, the exact way you need to do it, it either sticks or you fall back.
Chad Curley. And this guy is known for his amazing bike control skills. We talked about those manual lines earlier. He incorporates the tech, but he also incorporates a lot of flatland style skills into his riding. And just watching this guy in practice earlier in the week, I mean, he's got a couple of really good lines that we watched him work on.
Going for the truck driver over the Lone Star. It's a 360 with a bar spin, so spinning around 360 degrees while spinning the bars around 360 degrees.
Ooh, that was a rough dismount coming off the rail.
He started off with such a strong run.
Well, we've seen him at the top spot before, so we know he's got the skills to do. As a matter of fact, he's the only other guy besides Garrett Reynolds to have ever taken a gold medal in this event. So this first run's going to be a wash for him.
Right here. He's in the feeble grind.
How long he grinds that thing for?
360 out. Lands that perfect.
You should see him talking it over there with our next competitor, Dakota Roche, just saying, just got blown off the bike on that one there. So puts a little bit of a pressure situation on him now for the next 2 rounds. Because, again, you have to have 2 good runs out here. Hopefully that one didn't shake him up too bad. See more of him in rounds 2 and 3. Dakota Roche, your returning silver medalist from 2 years ago, the last time street was contested here. The X Games look for some high-speed lines out of this gentleman.
Dakota Roche out of Huntington Beach, California, doing it for Colt BMX. 360, rolling out fakie. Look at the control.
See how fast he was able to roll back out of that combo line.
540 off that small wedge. That takes such pop and such bike control.
Just a little bit of time left at the fall. He calls that one a run there.
Right. Nose wheel to toothpick bonk. Toothpick to 180.
Look how much speed he had as he was rolling back there. He kind of had to,
and that's
to
where
adjust
that free,
to save that.
That's where that free coaster comes into play, because if you didn't have that, there's no way you'd be able to pedal backwards that fast and keep that control.
You can see the frustration on his face right there. But again, 3 rounds for each one of these riders here, with one more rider left to go here in the lineup for round number 1. So it's Sean Ricani still sitting in that top spot with that 34, Brock Rafer with a 31, and then Devin Smiley sitting in 3rd. That 29. So Dakota's going to check in 7th there with an 18 as we get set to bring in the last guy in the run order here, and your defending gold medalist. He's only lost this event 1 time, Kevin. Talking about Garrett Reynolds, and consistency is the name of this guy's game. He's got the big tricks, but he makes everything look so easy when he does it.
He has the perfect combination of technicality and to be able to throw the big tricks. He knows how to put a run together to throw the big tricks. He knows how to put a run together and use every aspect of the course, which is what has enabled him to walk away with so many medals.
Just lots and lots of combination moves with just the way. Just lots and lots of combination moves with just the way that he links things up. And another thing too for him, he never feels any pressure at these things ever. I mean, he's been interviewed time and time again about it, and he always says, you know what? It's not a contest to me. I'm just out here riding, having a session with my friends.
And you can see it just by the way he rides his bike. He looks so relaxed. He never looks tense. He never looks stressed out.
A little foot dab there, coming down to flat. Managed to stay upright though,
with a huge tail whip over that rail.
Bar spin 180 coming in backwards there.
360,
yeah.
360 bar spin.
Coming out of that backwards there.
Great solid first run. Right here. For the truck driver, which is a 360 bar spin over the handrail. Lands it perfect.
Dropping that thing down to flat. Just rides out of that like nobody's
right here.
business.
Goes for the 540 over that wedge.
Seen a couple of guys have issues with the 540s who are trying to step down. Just a little bit of a foot dab there and able to ride that one away. So score checks in for Garrett. He's going to get a 32. So your defending gold medalist will finish out round number 1, sitting in 2nd. Round 1 is in the books. We've got 2 more rounds still to go. Round 1 is in the books. We've got 2 more rounds still to go. More BMX Street when we come back.